Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Paranormal the New Normal presents Paranormal Primetime. Malachi and myself are back once again to bring you two very special episodes of Supernatural this week. And, oof, season 3 does not disappoint. I swear to God, I don't think I've had one episode where I really didn't like it at all. Like, I don't think it's had one fully bad episode yet. I'm probably jinxing us by saying that, but actually, no, I know for a fact next week that's still going to be a true thing. So, yeah, it's Supernatural's going good this season. We'll see as it gets on if season 4 holds that, but we'll see. Malachi, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Tired, but that's life now. So I'm doing good. Besides that, but uh, well, folks, much to and folks, don't judge your TV screens. If Malachi looks a little green, it's just the envy of my episode this week. But
I
uh
didn't have time to find my Christmas hat.
I don't own a Christmas hat, dude. actually, that's what my fucking mom say. I think she has like a fucking leopard print one I could have fucking grabbed, but that would have been gay as shit. And your gay meter would have been like a
Oh
10. So,
shit! I have a leopard Christmas print hat. I got 3 Krampus shirts sitting in my closet right now. I should have worn one of them. Fuck me.
well, I think we'll save them for when that actually becomes a thing on the show. I think it does at some point, if I'm not mistaken. But well, it's your episode first as always. So let's jump in. Let's jump into your fun episode.
Okay, so obviously we're on season 3, but we're episode 7, and it is titled "Fresh Blood." Writer Sierra Gamble, which we've seen on a lot of episodes, and the director's Kim Manners, which I'm pretty sure she's
Oh,
getting up there.
she's been around the block a lot for directing on this show already.
Yeah,
She was first season and shit. So
yeah. These are directors and writers that have been around. But so the episode starts off with Gordon approach. Well, we see a shadowy figure that approaches Maggie, aka Bella, and Bella asks, "Shouldn't you be in jail?" And Bella's, trying to side angle her way, try to find her gun in her car, but that's when Gordon pulls the gun out on Bella. And for like recap, Gordon's kind of this crazy hunter guy that Sam and Dean have been feuding with for a while. Gordon knows Sam is being trained to be the Antichrist or whatever, so he's got this like death wish to kill Sam. Um, so Gordon sticks Bella's gun in her face, and he's like, "Hey, I'll kill you if you don't tell me where Sam and Dean are, because I heard you were with them last episode." And Bella's like, I don't do shit like that. Like, we can make a deal, but I don't do shit like that. So
well,
Gordon says, well, huh?
hold up. You didn't preface all this by saying where they are.
What do you mean?
They're in a fucking cemetery. I think that adds to the ambiance of all this.
I don't know. Like, small screen when I watched this time. It looked like they were out in the woods, fucking in a parking lot. But,
It was a cemetery, but yes.
okay. I missed that. Um, So Gordon says, I can scrounge up $3,000, and Bella says, I don't get out of fucking bed for $3,000, bitch. And like Gordon's like, well, I can kill you again. And then Bella sees this like little fucking purse thing Gordon's wearing, and it's this weird like hex bag thing, and she says that's priceless. Gordon says, I don't want to trade it, and he ends up trading it. And immediately Maggie or Bella calls Sam and Dean on the phone to find out where they're at. So this is like right after we left from the last episode.
Well, no, because we have to assume there's a little bit of time that passed after the last episode because they went to Vegas to spend their money.
Yeah, I mean it's close. Like they were just with each other within a week. So then we cut to Sam and Dean, and they're hunting vampires in a warehouse. And Dean, kind of a theme for this episode, he's going all hardcore maverick. They're struggling to catch this vampire, and Dean just fucking cuts his wrist and says, "Come and get it." And so the vampire comes and tries to attack Dean, and Dean fucking shoots her up with some dead man's blood. And I think they mentioned it the last vampire episode, right?
We
The
literally did
dead
an episode.
man's blood.
We literally did an episode called Dead Man's Blood.
Okay, yeah. I
Like,
didn't think that was a first.
and yeah, they explain everything about it in the second to last episode of season 1 with John.
So if nobody knows, dead man's blood kind of like subdues a vampire. It fucking like knocks him out and sedates him. It's not good. It's kind of like holy water to a demon. So they capture this vampire and they got her tied to a fucking chair. And when she wakes up, they're interrogating her, and they're going back and forth. And she thinks that she's just like high on drugs still. She thinks somebody gave her some drugs at a bar, and she hasn't come down yet. And they're explaining to her like the symptoms of being a vampire, and she's like, "Yeah, I got that. It's just drugs." And then eventually she explains that they put this 3 drops of blood-looking liquid into my drink, and now I can hear heartbeats from fucking blocks away. I can hear your heartbeat. And they end up killing her. They have to kill her, right? Sam and Dean, a little bit of a fight scene for that. But then we cut to Gordon and Crazy Jesus guy. If anybody remembers, what was his name? Kubrick. Um,
Kubrick, yeah.
there, yeah, Kubrick. So this is after the whole Sam and Dean thing. They're kind of interrogating this guy that was in the background that was all fucked up from that vampire scene. And like Gordon seems like he just really wants to kill this dude. He's kind of being a cunt about it, but he doesn't give him a ton of information, but he does reveal that 2 guys saved him. So immediately they're thinking like, yeah, this is Sam and Dean. Sam and Dean are here on this case. And so we switch back to the boys. They're investigating the bar where this girl said that she was drugged, and they see some creepy dude taking a girl around the corner, and they're like, yeah, this is probably the fucking creep vampire trying to change people. And so it did turn out to be this fucking vampire dude who's trying to grow his clan, trying to give this girl blood, and they end up going into a fight scene. And as the fucking vampire is running away, Gordon and Kubrick turn the corner, and then they just start shooting on each other. So it like went from the vampire to now fucking foe against foe thing happening. And then Gordon, all of a sudden, we see him get knocked out. Then we switch back to the motel, and Sam's waiting there. Dean finally shows up because he did this whole like, "Come catch me, Maverick" shit to try to
No,
get him off of
uh,
Sam.
no, he had it. He had a fucking name for it. What the hell? Oh my god, he had a name for it. It was hilarious. I forget what the hell. It was a good reference. Uh,
Um,
uh,
Kit? Is it? Does it have? No, it doesn't have to do with Kit. It has. I know what you're talking about.
it was
I
a good
kept
reference.
thinking Maverick.
No, I forget what the hell it was called, but it worked. Whatever he called it, it fucking worked like amazingly. But
So they're arguing about how Dean seems to just be like trying to fucking throw his life, like he doesn't care about his life anymore, and he's taking all these chances, and they're just yapping away in the motel room, and they're trying to find out how the hell did Gordon get free, and then that's when it fucking dawns on Dean that like the last person that would have known our location was that bitch Bella. So he calls Bella and he says he's gonna kill her, like for real, in a stern, serious voice. I'm gonna kill you, Bella. And we see Bella's face; she's all sad and scared. Then we cut back to Gordon waking up, and he's like completely fucking restrained, and he immediately starts talking shit to this vampire, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. Like Gordon has zero filter, but like if you're tied up, dude, if your enemy has you tied up, don't immediately start talking shit. You're just knocked out. Try to find out location, any type of information. But he just goes into it. And so, the vamp's like telling him the whole story. Like, I need to grow my family, so I'm drugging these girls with my blood to turn them into vampires, and I'm going to kill you, and they're going to eat you. And then he's like, hey, wait a minute. I know how to get back at you, motherfucker. I'm just going to turn you into a vampire.
Well,
So he fucking
to preface it all, too, he tells Gordon that Gordon killed his daughter and the
whole
rest of his family.
family. Yeah. So he ends up turning fucking Gordon into a vampire, like his worst nightmare, right? Because we found out that I think it was the first episode with Gordon where his sister was turned into a vampire,
Yep.
and he ended up killing his sister. So this is like Gordon's worst nightmare. So now we're back to the motel, and Dean and Sam are talking, and Dean's like, "Hey, we're gonna have to kill Gordon," and Sam agrees. Like, normally Sam's Mister, we got to save everybody. So there's like a little hint of like maybe he is turning into a demon. Like, why is he agreeing so quick? Shit, but that doesn't last that long. Then Bella calls, and she has Gordon's location, and she's trying to get back in the graces. Doesn't want to hear another "I'm gonna kill you" phone call, and she got it from a spirit board or whatever the fuck Bella's doing. She's talking to ghosts and shit on the other side. So then we're back to the warehouse. A lot of cutscenes here, and Gordon is now a vampire, and he just fucking breaks his restraint. And he's escaping, and as he's escaping, he's up the fucking roof. He comes down, he sees some guy changing his tire, and all of a sudden the vampire urges kick in, and he eventually ends up in the back seat of this dude's car and fucking kills the dude and eats him. So Gordon couldn't even last like a minute. He just immediately, I'm a vampire, this is what I gotta do. I'm killing this guy. So now we're back to Sam and Dean. They go to this warehouse. A lot of warehouses in this episode. They go to the warehouse where Gordon had escaped, and they find these girls ripped apart by Gordon, presumably. And they find the main vampire, and there's this long back and forth, like they killed my family, wah 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 wah. And he eventually gets to the fact how he changed Gordon, like he lost his new family because he was an asshole and he changed Gordon into a vampire. So then we switch to Gordon meeting Kubrick at his like house, and he's telling him the situation, and Kubrick's like, "Well, dude, you're a fucking monster. I'm gonna have to kill you now." And fucking Gordon's like, "Yeah, I gotta die, but first we gotta kill Sam." So then Kubrick tries to fucking attack Gordon, and Gordon just decimates this motherfucker. Then we're back to the motel again with Sam and Dean, and they're like, having a gay off over like Dean wanting to be the guy who goes and saves the day while Sam sits back because Gordon really wants to get at Sam, and they're going back and forth, yapping for like 3 minutes about that. And then Gordon calls Dean and he wants to meet, and Dean's like, "Why the fuck would we come to you on your turf?" But he's got a girl that he held hostage, and he's like, "If you're not down here within 20 minutes, I'm gonna kill this fucking girl." So now they're playing by Gordon's rules. Um, they go to the warehouse and they immediately find the girl, and then to everyone's surprise, Sam gets locked in a separate part of the warehouse, and the lights go off. Um, and at this time, the fucking I don't think it was at exactly this time, but Gordon's like hunting him in the dark because he's a vampire now. He can see all this shit. But we find out that the girl that Gordon tied up, he had actually changed too. And this girl attacks Dean, and Dean wastes a Colt bullet, shoots her right in the face.
Well,
When I first saw it, I thought it was a demon.
well, you know, it's not wasting Colt bullets anymore. They can make them now, so now it's just open game with the Colt.
And what if a whole army of demons came, though?
They only have one gun; they'd be fucked regardless. You can only shoot
Nah.
it. You can only shoot an old gun like that so fast, dude.
You are a glass half full kind of guy, Jeremy. And have you ever seen Clint Eastwood? You hold that trigger down and just pop that hammer, dude.
Yeah,
Come on.
if there's a fucking demon army, they're fucked. There's only one gun. They, I never understood why they didn't figure out how to make more guns can do the same thing. Like I never
And
like
then
why,
get like a AR with
exactly
drum magazines. Just
get a
fucking.
get a fucking rocket launcher and fucking make it into a gun like that.
That's what I'm talking about. Put it in the water. Get them all. Okay, so yeah, Dean he ends up killing this girl that
Turned.
Gordon had turned. Meanwhile, Gordon is full on like hunting Sam in the dark at this point. It's a flashback from Sam like, and Gordon like, "Oh yeah, I can see you. I'm gonna get you." And then a fight ensues. Gordon busts through a wall. Dean comes in and fucking tries to save the day. And now Gordon is going after Dean. And Sammy Boy does not like this. So he grabs a piece of random wire that's sitting on the table and he gets Gordo in a chokehold and he's fucking squeezing and you can really see Sam's muscles working here. He's just fucking going. And then Gordon's head falls off. And then we go to the next day after we see Gordon like body sitting, his head on the floor.
Yeah,
But
I was
then
gonna say they did a really good job design, like putting that together as headless body laying there. They did a good job on the design for that.
they did a really good job of capturing Sam's fucking guns, dude.
Oh, of course they did.
So the next day, they're just like hanging out on the side of the road, and there was like all that yada 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 shit I was talking about was like Sam saying, "I looked up to you, Dean. Blah, I don't want to see you go. Blah 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 blah." So they're just talking, and then Dean all of a sudden gets this thought like, "I gotta teach Sam how to fix my baby since I'm going to hell." In 183 days, there was a sign I saw when I looked on that website, and
Yep.
it wasn't proven, but it's estimated that there's like 183 days left in Dean's life before his contract is fulfilled.
Yep.
And so Dean shows Sam where the carburetor is, and this is the headpan. And he did also ask Sam to pass him a box wrench, but he did not give a size. That kind of pissed me off. The end.
Damn, you got through that so fucking fast, dude. But
Fast.
In case interesting trivia,
20
in case
minutes.
you did interesting trivia, in case you didn't know it, uh, the woman who plays Lucy, the first girl that they interrogate and cut the head off of, um, she is from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, an angel as a vampire, and she also played Amanda Buckman in Adam's Family Values back in '93.
Okay, that sounds super. I didn't watch that movie a whole hell of a lot, but that does sound super familiar.
She's the little pain in the ass blonde girl who thinks she's better than everybody. That Wednesday totally rips on constantly.
Have you ever watched? My son watches the Wednesday.
I fucking love that show, dude. You would love it.
Okay.
It's basically like Hogwarts for cryptids.
I'll check it out one of these days if I have time.
You would and you would like the music choices in it. It's all '90s like punk shit.
Okay.
But
Would you rate it?
yeah, I would honestly give this episode a 4.3. It was a good episode.
I'm giving it a 3.0. I'm not a fan of. For the continuity, I liked it. Not a real big fan of the Twilight movies.
It has nothing to do with dude. This is right before Twilight. Like,
It's
and
vampires, though. Come on now.
I love vampires, man, and Gordon getting killed definitely raised the rating on it a lot because I fucking hated that fucker. I love him as Randall Pearson on This Is Us, but I fucking hated him as Gordon. Sterling K. Brown gets a better role in This Is Us for 100% sure, but it's just fucking. He was a dick on this show, and I fucking hated him.
That's crazy. I thought the next dude was the This Is Us guy.
No,
Gordon was the This Is Us guy. I thought like the future similar
no,
character.
no. Sterling Brown plays Randall, and This Is Us.
Okay. Yeah, he did pretty. He's a good actor. I will say there was a lot of bad acting in my episode.
Yeah.
Like the main vampire and all the girls that got to play vampires and Gordon. Like it was some pretty bad acting.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, but well,
Well, let's
folks.
get to the good fucking episode.
Well, folks. That's right. I actually had the mid-season finale for season 3 as my episode, and it was episode 8 of season 3, A Very Supernatural Christmas, written by Jeremy Carver, which we've heard that name before, and directed by J. Miller Tobin, which might be a new name. I don't think I've heard that name,
I don't think I have either.
but my episode starts off a year before the actual episode takes place in Seattle. A man's visiting his grandson at Christmas. He dresses as Santa after the kid goes to bed and starts putting presents from his sack. He knows his grandson's peeking from the stairs, but he wants to like make him believe it's Santa still. And he hears a noise in the roof, and he goes over to look at the fireplace. And as his grandson watches, he's yanked up the chimney, and his bloody boots fall all into the fireplace. Cue title scene.
Christmas
Oh,
title scene.
yeah. So we go to the present day in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and Sam and Dean are dressed as FBI agents, and they're visiting a Mrs. Walsh whose husband is disappeared, and the only clue they find is a bloody tooth in the fireplace. And Sam finds out that he's the second guy in town to disappear, and he speculates they may be dealing with the evil Santa, as there's a lot of legends of the such things, and he mentions Krampus, another one, and
Black
Belsnickel too.
Pete and Belsnickel.
Yep, he mentions all the ones who punish the wicked at Christmas. So the two boys go check out Santa's village, which apparently both men were at before they disappeared. And Santa's village is a very ghetto ass amusement center for that's supposed to be like a place where Santa lives. And as they're walking in, Dean says he'd like to celebrate Christmas, but Sam says he thinks it's stupid. And we see a flashback for the first time in a long time to the boy's childhood. where it shows a young Sam and Dean in a motel room waiting for John to get back from a hunt. Sam's wrapping a present for his dad, which he got from Uncle Bobby, and he's asking questions about what his dad does and where he goes. He's still too young to really know. Dean kind of gets him to forget about the questions, but he gets pissed off when Sam asks about their mom. We cut back to Sam's village, and they are observing the guy who's playing Santa, who who is he makes freaking Billy Bob Thornton's version of Bad Santa look like a more real Santa than this guy, for fuck's sake. But
Yeah.
they see the guy get up. He walks with a limp, and he smells of candy, just like the legend about evil Santa says. And that night, they're staking out his trailer. And they're having a conversation while they're watching. And Dean asks Sam why he doesn't want to celebrate Christmas. And all of a sudden, they hear a scream from inside the trailer, and They enter guns drawn, but they find him watching porn with a very, very large bong and a bottle of some booze in his hand. And when he gets up, and is like, "What are you doing here?" They start singing "Silent Night." Dean starts it off, and Sam tries to harmonize, but they both are doing horrible. And the guy Santa's drunk and high, so he freaking starts singing with them.
And it is like none of them know the words.
Nope. And the same night, we see another man being taken up the chimney in a sack. And when Sam and Dean decide to go investigate the next day, they notice a wreath that the family has over the fireplace. And Sam says he saw the same wreath in the Walsh house. Walsh house. Yeah. And Sam finds out that the plant is called meadowsweet. It's a herb used in pagan rites to summon gods through a human sacrifice. And Sam figures out that they're looking for a pagan god of the winter solstice who grants clement weather, since there's been no
And
snow and they're in Michigan.
if any of our viewers would like to purchase some meadow sweet, I have some growing right now. So contact us. It's very expensive though, right, Jeremy? Very
Yep,
expensive.
Malachi's all about those sacrifices, you know. But
What
we
you
go
do
back.
with my product is none of my business.
But we're back at the motel again, and Dean's trying to get Sam to celebrate Christmas, and Sam asks why when Dean hasn't given a shit about Christmas for years. And Dean admits that he wants to celebrate this year as it's his last year, and Sam responds that for that very reason he doesn't want to celebrate. And we see another flashback to 1991 when they're children, and Sam is asking again about what John does, and he pulls out from underneath his mattress of the bed he's sleeping on John's journal and says that he read it, and he asked Dean whether monsters are real. Dean basically says, "You better never tell Dad I told you this, but yes, they are, and that our father's a superhero who kills them." So Sam asks if other myths like the Easter Bunny are true, and Dean denies it. Sam is clearly upset, and he's afraid that the monsters are going to come after him, so he cries himself to sleep like a little bitch.
Well, he specifically asks if Santa
Mm.
is real.
He says Easter Bunny and Santa, but yeah. But so Sam cries himself to sleep, and the next day they go and visit an older couple named Madge and Edward Kerrigan, who appear to be a regular old couple. And to find out if she has any more of the meadowsweet wreaths that she made for the Christmas shop that was selling them. And she says no, she's all out of them. And when her husband comes in, she says, "Oh, just two nice boys looking for my wreaths." But Sam looks into it, and they were in Seattle the previous year when three men disappeared. And Bobby, who's been kind of like called in on all this for advice, says that they are pagan gods. Stakes made of evergreen wood will kill them. So the boys go back to the house that night, and in the basement, they're looking around. They go in the basement, and they find all these human remains, and they find the latest victim still in a sack, hanging from a hook. And all of a sudden, they're attacked by the old couple, Madge and Edward, and they get their asses fucking handed to them, and they get slammed into cement walls and knocked the fuck out. And they wake up bound to chairs in the kitchen, and they basically confirm they are pagan gods who, since the rise of Christianity, have been trying to blend into human society, taking only a few human victims each year when they used to take hundreds each year. They start their ritual sacrifice, taking blood from Sam and Dean, and they pull out one of Sam's fingernails in a very gruesome scene. Eh, and gets to call her a bitch, and he says, "Oh, when I like to curse, I just say fudge." And we get to hear Dean's infamous line, "Well, lady, I'm gonna fudge you up when I get out of this chair." But they're about to take one of Dean's teeth out for the ritual, but they're interrupted by the front door. And when they come back, oh, Sam and Dean have escaped. Surprise, surprise. We have an amazing fight scene, and the boys end up killing them with stakes made from the branches of a Christmas tree, which is just perfectness.
Dope.
But we go back to another scene in the past in 1991, and Dean's waking up Sam, telling him that while he was sleeping, John came back and left a tree and presents. Sam opens the presents, a Barbie and a sparkly baton, and he challenges Dean on like why the fuck would his dad give him girl presents, and Dean says, "Well, maybe Dad thinks you're a girl." But Dean finally eventually admits that he stole them from a house down the street, and Sam says he wants to give Dean the present meant for his father. Dean refuses, but then accepts, and it's the amulet that we see Dean still wearing to this day around his neck.
Hell yeah, big first.
And we go back to the present, and Dean comes back into the hotel after buying beer to find that Sam has decorated the motel room with a tree hung with air fresheners, and he made eggnog. They exchange presents they bought at the local gas station. Dean gives Sam some skin mags and shaving cream, and Sam gives Dean oil for the car and a candy bar, which Dean pleasantly refers to as fuel for my baby and me. But Sam starts to say something, but is starts getting emotional, and he's just like, "How about we watch the game on TV?" And Dean's like, "Yeah," and we end with them watching a football game. It's a very, it was a very fast episode, but it was a classic. It's a classic. That's
It was fast. Yeah, it did seem fast.
it's one of their only. I think it's one of their very few Christmas episodes they do actually. So, but it was a fun episode, and there was a few. Uh, and there was a few funny jokes in it. One of the times Sam is researching, he tells Dean that the chimney monster is Dick Van Dyke. They pull a Mary Poppins reference,
And Dean's
and
like, who?
and if you didn't catch it, when they're kids, when Sam's wrapping presents in the hotel room, he's watching the Christmas special, The Year Without Santa Claus.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, and but I mean, it's other than that, it's not much.
What do you rate it?
I honestly would give it a 4 4.4 just for just because it's of the episode it is, and how it's a perfect little like Christmas episode to end the season and to end the middle of the season.
I'm giving it a 7.2 out of 5. Best episode we've seen so far. Everybody should
Mm.
watch it during Christmas. Every other year. You don't want to get burned out, people.
And actually, uh, Eric Kripke, the creator of the show, is a huge fan of Christmas television specials. So he wanted to make the most violent Christmas special in the history of television.
I don't know
So
if he did that.
television special, maybe.
Television, I'm going to have to research that. Well, and for that time, I guess Christmas horror wasn't that big. I mean, there were movies, but yeah, you might be right.
And
You're
apparently
the X-Files guy.
they didn't really do Christmas episodes in X Files, at least not to my
Yeah.
knowledge. They may have, but I honestly don't remember. It's been a long time since I watched the whole series, but they may have done one or two. It wouldn't surprise me. But actually, yeah, I'm particularly remembering an episode where like Mulder gives Scully a Christmas present. I remember, but He wanted to do the episode about like the Antichrist, but the writers didn't want to do that because it would implicate the existence of an actual Santa Claus, and they'd have to work that in the show somewhere. So they went more to the mythology of the pagan god Holdnikar, who is supposed to be around before Santa. And Kripke says it's
Whoa, hold up here a second. That they didn't want to do it because of what? Like why?
because if they did an anti-Santa, the writers said it would implicate the idea that there's a real Santa.
And they didn't want to do it for that reason. Like
Yeah,
they didn't want kids to believe. That's fucking gay.
well, because I don't think they wanted to bring Santa into that universe, because it would make
But they
it would.
had no problem saying he didn't exist. What a bunch of fucking cunts.
Well, in a show where they say that God doesn't exist, what do you expect?
And we find out God exists.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
later.
maybe.
Maybe that
But
happens.
Kripke has been noted for saying that it's one of the most accurate lores they've had in any episode.
I don't know about the whole Krampus and Belsnickel walking with a limp and smelling like candy thing. I think they might have took some creative royalties for that one. But
Uh,
other than that, maybe.
but I love when Sam's talking to Bobby on the phone, and he's like, he tells Dean after he hangs up, he's like, "Well, we're not dealing with the Anti-Claus." He's like, and Dean's like, "What did Bobby say?" He said we're morons.
Yeah,
I fucking laugh my ass off at that. Even when Bobby's
that
not,
was fun.
even when Bobby's not in an episode, he's fucking hilarious. But
It was an
well,
all around good episode, dude. You had like the whole mystery who done it part, but then you got a lot of flashbacks and they managed to throw in like this Christmas themes. Dean doesn't have that much longer. I thought it was like as holiday episodes go, it was a pretty fucking good holiday episode if you watch Supernatural.
I thought it was a good episode regardless. I mean, and it was a good monster of the week. It was a good monster of the week episode to end the
Mm-hmm.
mid-season finale and the mid-season. So, and well, folks, we'll be back next week with two more pretty good episodes. I at least know that Malachi has a good episode that takes place very close to where I live.
Okay. So we are
But
going to send you off by singing Silent Night.
we're not taking off YouTube. Shut your
Holy
mouth.
night. Oh. Okay. Christmas is coming though. We gotta do something special for Halloween and Christmas.
Malachi, shut your fudging mouth before we get fucking taken off YouTube.
I know it was pretty close. Might get some
uh,
copyright there.
yeah, we'll see. Uh, we'll see you next week, folks.
Take it easy, everybody.
Merry night.